Be nowhere else to point the finger this time around. He's got the coach, he's got the players around him. Next, if I said Kirk Cousins is now just stuck in Atlanta for the year, is that an overreaction?
I say yes. I still think there are ways this could turn out where he gets what he wants and gets an opportunity to go somewhere else and be a starter. But right now, there doesn't seem to be an obvious landing spot for him. Somebody gets hurt in the offseason, which often happens, unfortunately. Aaron Rodgers turns the Steelers down. I mean, there are things that could open up, but right now, Cousins at this point projects to be the backup to Michael Penix Jr., and I don't think anybody's thrilled about that.
Well, you mentioned the Steelers. So if someone were to say the Steelers made a mistake not drafting a quarterback before the 6th round, is that an overreaction?
I say it's an overreaction. I think they felt like this group of quarterbacks didn't offer them a transformative player. They need to get this question answered for the long term. If Aaron Rodgers is coming, and they are still optimistic that he will, then they wouldn't want to take somebody that would cause an issue with him. So next year's quarterback draft is thought to be probably better. And I think the Steelers know that if they can patch it together with an Aaron Rodgers this year, they might be in a position to land somebody who has a better chance to be their long-term answer next year.
Did the Steelers make a mistake this weekend not addressing the quarterback more than they did?
Yes, because you're putting your eggs in Aaron Rodgers' basket, which we know based on his most recent interview, Greeny, with Pat McAfee, he's not sure if he wants to play. So your options get more limited. And then if we're the Steelers and we call up the Atlanta Falcons and say, hey, we want Kirk Cousins, with all that guaranteed money, you're giving them all the leverage. So I was very surprised strategically that the Steelers didn't address the quarterback sooner. Will Howard's an interesting prospect. But again, when you go get DK Metcalf and say, we have a problem scoring, let's go get a point scorer, I am sure they didn't think Mason Rudolph would be their open day quarterback.
Here's the only thing I'll say. The Steelers have come under some uncharacteristic criticism in recent years, and probably some of it is deserved. But the reality is they are an organization that knows what they are doing, right? Bottom line. So the things they have done don't add up. Like they just let Russell Wilson walk away. They let Justin Fields walk away. They seem to have put all their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket. They had 5 opportunities or whatever it was to draft Shedeur Sanders and didn't do it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I keep coming back to they know what they're doing. They have to have some other plan that I'm not aware of, Peter. What is it?
Look, Rodgers met with them and was very transparent. And Rodgers met with them and the Giants, and Rodgers said to them, I do not have a timetable. I do not know when I'm going to make this decision. If you are uncomfortable with that, you can pivot, and there's no harm done. In fact, the Giants did that and signed 2 different veteran quarterbacks. And Rodgers afterwards said he appreciated Brian Daboll in the meeting that they had, and that Daboll pivoted. The Steelers opted not to. If you ever thought that Aaron Rodgers is on a timeline or has some back handshake deal, I don't think he does. I think the Steelers are banking on the fact that this guy's not done, there are no more seats at the table, and they make the most sense. But I do not think this has been agreed upon yet. It's just they are trusting that he will come eventually.
And or they have some other plan that I just don't know what it is. There's somewhere else they think they can make a trade.
They know there's other options, right? Like all of a sudden it's crowded in Cleveland. It's crowded with the Giants. Like some of these guys, these veterans could still shake loose on a trade market or get.
They could get Kenny Pickett back.
Yeah, but I can't believe
I don't think that's going to happen.
That was a joke, but go ahead.
I don't think the Steelers are going to wait on an AFC North rival to get their quarterback. And again, like all I'm saying, what I find to be inconsistent, Greeny, is if you're going to go get Metcalf and say we have an issue at offense, then go get the quarterback. If not, go trade T.J. Watt.
Would you have felt better if they'd gotten Sam Howell this week?
No, but I would have felt better if they'd taken Shedeur Sanders for sure.
How do we know? I mean, Shedeur Sanders is a 5th-round draft pick.
No,
How do we know he's a better option for them this year than Mason Rudolph?
No, I don't know that. That's what I mean. I'm trusting that they know more than I do. D. Wood, if you're a player on that team, what are you thinking?
What the hell is going on? Like, I can't even imagine, like, Cam Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt's like, bro, we're just in a constant spin cycle right now. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2016. They have no solution at quarterback. You're literally throwing all your eggs in the basket on a guy who has 1 foot in retirement. That is the worst position to be if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. The worst.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
The problem is, and they know this firsthand because of what happened to them 2 years ago with Kenny Pickett. If you take a guy in the 1st round and he's not the guy, that spin cycle just gets even worse.
Right. But
I'm not advocating that they should have just taken Shedeur out. I'm just talking about the totality of their quarterback situation is awful right now.
Drafted in the 5th round to win a playoff game as a starter.
I saw somebody put out a list of notable 5th-round quarterbacks, and I disagreed with the adjective. perspective. But some of the
Dan
lists,
Graziano, Dan
Orlovsky was a
Orlovsky.
5th-round pick, but I don't think he won a playoff game as a starter. I'm sorry, Dan, I'm not going to guess you. Dennis Dixon with the Steelers was on there. But T.J. Yates was on there. I think he won with the Bill O'Brien Texans. I think T.J. Yates won a playoff game. Is that correct?
That's ridiculous. That's correct.
Wow.
T.J. Yates in the wild card round of the 2011 season. That is, I would have guessed Orlovsky before I would have guessed that.
That would have been
That
a
is
good call.
remarkable. Graziano up 23-11. That was awesome.
That's a big win.
Let's do a game of awesome, awful, awkward looking back at the draft. Damian Woody, give me something awesome you saw at the draft this weekend.
How about Tyler Shuck's dog?
Yes.
Like, me being the dog person that I am, I thought it was just awesome how he was so excited and into it. A great dog, man.
Well, that's a great thing because the dog doesn't know why he's excited. It's a great moment.
Yes.
He doesn't know why. All right, Graziano, give me something awful.
The number of animals that had to die in Dave Quinn Ewer's living room. What on earth is going on here? It's like every time a round went by and he wasn't drafted, they killed something else. I didn't understand it. It's a lot going on there.
There is a lot.
There's a lot of dead animals. I don't know, man. Eat them all. I don't
Oh my God.
know, man.
That was funny.
Texas is not something I know much about.
All right, Tannenbaum, what was something awkward?
God, hard to follow that. Shador Sanders, waiting greedy. Look, we never thought he'd be there in the 5th round. Hopefully this is going to be ancient history soon, but that was a very awkward 3 days for him and everybody covering the draft.
It was, of course, and I'm sure it was difficult for him, and I thought he handled it, all things considered, very well, and we talked about it earlier. This is now the Browns quarterback room. I don't think Deshaun Watson will be in that room. I think he has played his last game there. Kenny Pickett has been on 3 teams in 2 years. Joe Flacco, I made a joke about it earlier, he's obviously a much older player. They're not banking on him for their future. And I think that despite the fact that Dillon Gabriel was drafted ahead of Shador Sanders, everyone considered Shador a higher rated prospect than Dillon Gabriel. I think there were extenuating circumstances with Shador, right? We've talked about it all morning long. So that's when I said that the one thing that hasn't been said enough is he wound up in a great place. Like the draft is the beginning of the story. It's not the end. We treat it like it's the end because we spend so much time talking about it. But right now, if I had to bet on it, I would bet that Shador Sanders is the starting quarterback for Cleveland sometime relatively early this season. This is just I don't know any, a guess.
You're not boosting it?
I'm not boost it, baby. and if he's good, he'll have his chance to prove it.
And there's 2 fundamental reasons why. He may be the best player, A, and then B, guys, if we're the Browns, we have 2 1s next year.
Yes.
We have to know what we have between Dillon Gabriel and Shador Sanders.
First, I would object that the most awkward thing was not Shador's slide. It was that Belichick interview. Moving right along, though, I will give you here, a little boom, boom. That was strange. But I would say in this case, Cleveland, you might say Cleveland, that's where quarterbacks go to rot. No, he's got an opportunity to win the job. And furthermore, this particular coaching staff with Stefanski and Tommy Rees and Bill Musgrave, they are quarterback guys. All of them are looked as quarterback experts. If there is a coaching staff and a nurturing coaching staff, it's an offensive one like that and not one where it's a defensive coordinator who just does not want you to turn the ball over.
Let's talk about attitude, okay? So I think that Shador's braggadocio, whatever it is, and his dad's, it did not work.